Good afternoon. Welcome to Millennial Man, the 13th floor, Chapter 13, Unknown. There are a lot of things in this life that are unknown. The things of the unknown vary in importance to each individual. There are many, some futile, some more profound and important. Some will matter to your life, others not so much. What is unknown by some may be known by others. Some things are unknown by all. The largest and most universal unknown is the day we leave the earth plane in our physical form. No one knows the day they will die physically. What does the future have in store? Who built the pyramids? When will the world end, if ever? Why are people so divided? What will happen if I invest all I have into a business venture? Can people sell their soul? Is there other life out there? Will my children make the same mistakes I did? Will I ever know true love? Are angels and demons real? Is any one nation better than another? Are ancient curses and promises applicable today? Can our problems as a people be fixed? Is any one race better or closer to God than another? Will America remain free and sovereign? Who has the answers to the world's mysteries? Millennial men, we are faced with numerous things of unknown nature. As men, we need to be careful to retain our drive and purpose no matter what we face in the unknown realm. People who are really influenced by curiosity can spend their entire lives searching for answers to the unknown, even to the point of neglecting the here and now. Our curiosity about the unknown can become an obsession. It can also affect the decisions we make in life. Anything that influences the decisions we make is quite important. Oftentimes, if we think a particular book has the answers we seek, we will read it. Other times, we may join an organization or institution because of our belief that they have the answers we seek, or they will help us to find our place in life. As curious beings, we will gravitate or align ourselves in the direction that we believe will get us answers to our questions or other facts we may be looking for. How does the unknown affect the millennial man? Why is this chapter so important to us? There are multiple reasons for it's important to us. The first being that if you are reading this book, you are interested in the leadership of man, or you are interested in what I have to say about it. The unknown surely affects our duties in leadership. To be an effective leader and teacher, you must have some understanding of why the state of our affairs as a nation in the world is where it is currently, both in a political, psychological, and spiritual sense. We as millennial men are undertaking a mission of setting back in order things in our homes, communities, and nation. And so doing, we are going to experience things opposing in nature. Some of these things will be easily understood. Others will be unknown to us. The roots to a lot of our problems as a nation and within society are widely unknown and or hidden. This is why our topic is important to us as millennial men. A lot of would-be teachers and leaders haven't fulfilled their destiny because they fear opposition, the unknown, or uncertainty. These fears can be crippling. Also, it can be quite disheartening to see people with total disregard for truth who refuse to address obvious hindrances and logic. This, of course, makes us wonder why. This unknown keeps some from continuing on their path and pursuing solutions because solving problems amidst such hypocrisy and opposition seems hopeless. Some have no doubt begun on a path to be leaders and teachers, only to experience some pitfall. One of these pitfalls is the bias a person has or could have. Biased beliefs are supported by information. Whether this information is sound or not is important. It's key, as a matter of fact. For example, the Nation of Islam's main teacher and leader, Farrakhan, believes and teaches his followers that the black Asiatic race are direct descendants of God. As a result, black people are higher and more worthy of prestige than white people, being as gods themselves. He also teaches that white people with blue eyes are devils or are descended from devils. In direct opposition is the white supremacist, Aryan, or Nazi groups such as the Ku Klux Klan, to be one example. These people believe that the white race is supreme, the blacks are descended from apes, or in some beliefs, descended from fallen angels who mated with women, and this makes them not fully human, therefore not worthy of prestige or status. Here are two groups of belief systems that have a profound impact on our world. And if 500,000 people believe each way, that equals 1 million people who believe they cannot unite with and work with the other race. These people are called segregationists, and they exist on both sides of the aisle. They are supporting and teaching divisive rhetoric, and often even hate for the other race. These beliefs will trickle to their families, neighbors, and co-workers, causing confusion, doubt, and uncertainty. In effect, this too will cause more division and inaction in our communities and nation, more feelings of hopelessness and resentment. How many people from these groups are in positions of power? How many influence others in positions of power with money, blackmail, or other means? How much power do segregationists truly have? These people are using media, power, money, numbers, and rhetoric to stir division and hate. The reason for this are widely unknown. These unknowns are keeping a lot of revolutionary love and unity just out of reach, and it is up to us, millennial men, to make sure it becomes within reach of our people. It is unfair to accuse all of our leaders, in fact, any of our leaders, of being part of or influenced by these segregationists without solid proof, just as it is to accuse anyone without proof. No doubt some of the men who influence people or influence policy are of this number, even some who hold lawmaker positions. Ironically, no one, black or white, will publicly admit that they hold these views of hate and division. Those who hold this view will only show signs of division, anger, and hate. One past leader who comes to mind is Adolf Hitler, the leader of Germany. He wanted to go so far as to exterminate those he thought inferior, like Jews and black people. His reasons for this are widely unknown and esoteric. It had to do with what he believed concerning the bloodlines of these people. It came in ancient hidden information, unknown by the common folks. Whether the information or his perception of it was sound or not, we don't really know. You can find a lot of unknown in the study of history. However, in history, often facts and truths were hidden and suppressed on purpose, by design. Studying history can also reveal truth about why and where we are today. I fear the loss of proper education in historical data is making the origins and value of our freedom and liberty unknown to our next generation. As a result, a lot of our youth has a disregard for freedom and liberty, although they enjoy the fruits of such on a daily basis. Is this too by design? A lot of people believe it is. Power structures and rulers have in time past, and still today, possess knowledge and documentation that is kept from the general populace. They use this tactic in order to effectively wield power and control as they believe and they see fit. Christianity and the principles it usually adheres to has a huge impact on the growth, success, and peace we have enjoyed in the last 150 years. It has allowed us to be united with one another in America and be benevolent to many other lands throughout the world. However, at one point in history, those who claimed to be Christians and ruled the church were just as wretched as Al-Qaeda and ISIS is in our day and age. These corrupt Christians would burn people alive, chop off heads and limbs. They would sell God's mercy and forgiveness, and they suppressed the education of the common people, even making it illegal to own a copy of the Holy Scriptures. They suppressed information on a grand scale. The reason they did this are widely unknown, but had to be about control. These times were rightly known as the Dark Ages. Regardless of this past or our present corruption and injustice by so-called Christian leaders, Christianity continues to produce good fruits and sincere, caring people. The Torah, the Pentateuch, are the first 5 books of the Holy Bible. stories ancient in origin, written by Moses and about Moses and the early people of the earth, including the Israelites. Within these books are stories of ancient promises and curses made by the Creator to different people. These had to do with bloodlines and for various other reasons, such as incest, the treatment of the Israelites, obedience and disobedience to God's order, and instructions given by holy men or prophets, sins committed against natural order. Do these promises and curses apply even today? Could this explain a nation's inability to progress or succeed at home or on the world stage? Do we as Americans stand in jeopardy because of our lack and moral rectitude? Could this explain how some stay in perpetual violence, chaos, and hate? The answers, however significant, are widely unknown. One famous movie line says, "You can't handle the truth." This may be accurate in some instances. I am unafraid to discuss the truth of these matters at hand, the truth that these unknowns impact reality. I care about the successful progression of people, black, white, yellow, red, all races. I perceive this subject has a huge part to play in that progression. As you have read throughout Millennial Man, or listened to throughout Millennial Man, I will do my best to stay on course of expounding on truth, even when controversial or unpopular. Not politically correct, even when awkward or scary. I will address real issues that are pertinent to our functioning together successfully as a people united as the human race. These issues are not out there in the mainstream media, universities, on a daily or nightly talk show, not taught in school, and are not big on social media. They are kept hidden or suppressed, as often many truths and facts are that don't fit the agenda and narrative of the elite and religious world. Race relations and how the black and white population interact with one another is so very important in solving our nation's problems. Unfortunately, we have some deep-rooted unknowns that men use to sway people to support their agendas. These agendas are impacting our ability to unite and to understand the lack of drive to strive for unity. These unknowns are also holding people back who have power and influence, who otherwise could accomplish great things. Unless we understand where we are and where we stand on these issues and get the answers out there in the mainstream thought, we will never succeed in unity, and we will continue to deteriorate as a nation. These are very serious matters when it comes to the uniting of America. Why? Because we can know that at times in history, and even today, men in leadership and men in power are in fact using the unknown and the power of it for manipulation. People are using information as a weapon and using the manipulation of it as a means of control. These means of control are contributing to the divisions of our fellow man here in America. As a result, hindering the millennial man in his God-given duties to lead, to teach, to protect, and to progress. We have Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, Senators, Congressmen and women, the office of President, institutions and churches of all kinds, European Union, United Nations, the Freemasons, the Muslim Brotherhood, the Jesuits, the Illuminati, etc., etc. It is amazing to have so many diverse groups of power and leadership, yet rarely are any of them coming forth with real solid solutions to the division, moral crisis, and the widespread ignorance our country is facing. The reasons for this are widely unknown. How can the common man who wants unity and prosperity, the millennial man, ever come to know what really drives the people in leadership to bend the whole world to their own will? Why is it that having so many different institutions of power and influence, we are failing to truly unite and prosper together? The truth of division is driven by some idea that one institution or race is higher or superior and are better equipped to lead. As a result, we find hate or contempt for all others. This feeling of contempt or hate seems to be increasing among the poor and fatherless. We should grow, advance, and prosper according to merit and good character. Does bloodline equal merit and good character? Trying to figure out the answers to a lot of our current questions can definitely be time-consuming and even turn into an obsession. Lifelong questions that end in more unknown and, frankly, an unfruitful life. Of course, we all want to know the answers to something we don't know. Look to the fall of man in Genesis. Or we want proof of something in order to understand or believe it. Millennial men, some things we just aren't going to know. I implore you, please do not let that stop you from striving for a moral, just, true life for yourself and for others, no matter their race, social status, or level of education and understanding. I can see where knowledge of a certain thing could harm or be destructive if the thing has deep psychological or spiritual implications. In this chapter on the unknown, I am not attempting to answer these questions or the topics I've brought up, only to illustrate that these topics can keep us in a state of fear, hopelessness, confusion, and non-action. From simple everyday life issues to the issues of profound importance. If we are aware, we can better deal with obstacles when they come, especially when the unknown becomes an obstacle. We are looking for serious solutions to serious problems in our world. Violence, hate, division, greediness, deception, addiction, power struggles, lack of morality, and ignorance on how to address these problems. I'm going to try and make a point to the fact that we need to act despite our lack of knowledge on some of these unknowns. Not use them for an excuse to justify inaction. As human beings, we all bleed red. It is our best interest to get along and help each other find happiness and peace. We can accomplish this through sincere love for our Creator and our fellow man. The reality is that there are many hateful and corrupt beliefs that hinder and fight against that love and unity. I've named two main groups who promote this idea that one race is somehow more accepted and more favored by the Creator than another. Is that actually true? I don't know. Neither does it matter, because I must live by the code of my belief, that is, that we are all created in the image of God, with equal opportunity in His sight. We all need forgiveness, and we all need to help each other through life. You may justify your prejudice or racism by historical knowledge, ancient texts and stories, carvings on a cave wall, family tradition, some hidden privileged information and knowledge, but in reality, who really knows? What I do know is that I am not God. Therefore, I have no right to condemn another human being to a less than position of importance by the color of their skin or the origin of their blood. Only by the merits of their character. No matter where we hail from, we have a choice in this. We have a choice in the life we live and the decisions we make. We can choose to be hateful, hurtful, liars, and cheats, or we can be men of sound character, of integrity, honesty, love, with a strong work ethic. I love people and children from all races and instinctively want to provide for, protect, and teach them good things, no matter what race they're from. I will not give up in striving for a uniting and sincere love for my fellow man because of skin color and or ancient teachings, or because some clown just wants to claim precedence over my race or yours. Neither should you allow these or any unknowns to hinder your effort to be a better leader and teacher and unite with all races to do the same. There are a lot of unknowns in our world and the galaxies beyond, from the simple things in our lives, like will my child win the soccer game? What will happen tomorrow? Will my business venture succeed? To the deeper unknowns, like are there angels and demons, aliens? Why do people and lands always fail? Why is there perpetual hate and violence? Why are people so selfish? Why do people claim superiority over another? We face many questions and unknowns. Whether or not they affect us, we still have to live and function day to day. To accomplish this in an ideal fashion, we should live in a manner beneficial to one another and the world around us, despite who's who and who believes what. What we can know is that when people live with a standard of moral integrity, they will usually prosper. When any land's people turns to foolishness, hate, immorality, and excess, usually the land and people will suffer. Historians have recorded the fall of the Roman Empire. Would we do well to take heed to that information? Millennial men, let's do our duty despite all of the world's unknowns.